there, dickhead.
Welcome to the show that laughs at you when you try to do a Ric Flair shot to their chest.
Oh! He laughed it off! He left it off!
Welcome to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. You're on the RGC Multimedia YouTube channel. Rick Cram, here as always, and then also here as always, the Cult of Multiple Personalities, a man with a chip on his shoulder the size of all of the entire farm for us potato chips, Chris Billito.
Yeah! Hi!
Alright. Well, folks, if you listened to last episode, we introduced a new segment called Get Off My Lawn. And I basically went off on Vince McMahon and that shitty Smackdown that he brought to Baltimore, and with the draft and everything else. Chris, I understand you have a few words about Mr. McMahon, too.
Oh, this is the tack on to your shit. Listen here, you dementia window-looking fuck. Yes, I said that. I'm not going to mince words. One, I saw the writing on the wall when you went down to Florida to the PC in July, when you probably didn't see any big guys that you could jerk off to. Okay? Then we saw the change of NXT. And I hate the fucking change to NXT. Then you shit all over the women's division because Ronda Rousey isn't there to fill your goddamn fucking pocket anymore. What was the... I'm going to tag you in on this. What was the average time of both women's matches, all four women's matches, on both SmackDown and past Raw for the tournament?
Well, Eric Bischoff probably would have been happy because it was about 3 minutes, right?
The average match combined was 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Excuse me. The matches that were on SmackDown combined, Roman Reigns' entrance was longer. Longer. Yeah, you're shaking your head. I went volcanic. Okay? The reason why your Sunday isn't there anymore because he probably got tired of your shit and tried to calm your ass down. And you probably slapped him down because he's not a yes man that you surround yourselves with. This goes back to the CM Punk promo from 10 years ago and the Paul Heyman promo from 20 years ago. Where even Heyman, even if it was a kayfabe kind of shoot, he said his own kids hate him. Remember that?
I do.
Yes. That was a fucking shoot. I don't give a flying fucking kayfabe. That's a fucking shoot. Vince, go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself.
Chris, don't hold back. Tell me how you really feel. But let me ask you this. You mentioned about how he screwed up NXT, and a lot of people agree with you, including myself. What is your take on it? Be more specific, if you would, please.
Johnny Gargano, who's the top star there, removed all NXT references on his social media. His contract's up in December. He's seen the writing on the wall where all they want to do is get these big gigantic oafs who can't fucking work. You're getting rid. Tommaso Ciampa's going to be gone soon. Gargano's leaving. Rick Steiner, who they're not even letting him use his fucking last name, Rick Steiner's son. But that was heat from Scott Steiner. Wayne Bloom's son, don't give a shit. These two ballroom brawlers they got for a tag team, don't give a shit. It's like watching the main roster all over again. You're shitting all over it. You're killing it. It's the only brand I actually enjoyed out of all three. You killing it. Stop it. Stop it now. Jesus fucking Christ, get off my fucking lawn already. John, god damn. God damn. Fuck you old fucking fart.
And
That's a purge right there.
oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's almost like the horror movie Purge.
Yeah.
It's when you're not having a siren going off and killing his family. Well,
Don't give me ideas.
I don't have to.
No,
I know,
it
I know
reminds
you
me of that line that comedian Louis Black said about standing in airport security. You just need to stand around and just chew on rawhide for a while.
That sounds like you've done that already. Smells like you have too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you said about NXT. That's the impression I got from Raw when I briefly watched a little bit of it, mainly because there's a football game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens, and both teams' defenses were barred from ringside. So we watched that.
Pretty much.
But then I watched a little bit of Raw the next day because that's the nice thing about YouTube TV. They actually record your episodes automatically for like a week.
And you can skip around the shit you don't want to see.
Yep. Like
That's a good part.
Yeah. And I turned it off in like the first 5 minutes. Then I went to both Wrestle Talk and to What Culture about it. And both, usually Ollie from Wrestle Talk or Simon Miller from What Culture, usually they do a very good job of breaking down a card and explaining it and giving their take on it.
Ollie lost his mind.
Ollie lost his mind, and Simon Miller, I think he's going through CT from slapping his head. The way they explained it, I was like, huh? And when they were explaining it, they were confused. They were like, huh? And so it's like, all I know is, I remember, these were my thoughts both times when they tried to explain it and from what I watched. It's like, why do they even have a draft? Why do they even have any rules? Why do I fucking care? Oh wait, I don't. Okay, that explains that one.
Because we're programmed to watch this shit each and every Monday because we grew up on it. Even though there's other product out there like AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, yada yada, MLW.
Yeah.
You know, there's other stuff. There's more than one flavor of ice cream out there.
Yeah.
They were getting fed the shitty flavor, you know? The black licorice flavor.
Yeah. I was, well, okay, that's probably more apt. I was going to say the cheap Neapolitan one.
No, it's black licorice.
Although, slice some of that and put it on like frozen toaster waffles, it's pretty banging, I gotta say that. Mm. But anything black licorice, I agree.
Believe me, I tried it. It's not, no.
Yeah. As forget being candy of the devil, that's the candy of Cthulhu, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah. All worship us.
Yeah.
But, the women's division, he's shitting all over right now. And from what I read and saw on various YouTube channels, there's frustration from the inside and the women on the outside of the company. Brie Bella just did a whole thing about how Vince is shitting on the women's division.
He's not only shitting on the women's division, he's actually running out of toilet paper on the women's tag team division because you only have one tag team.
Wait a minute. What tag team because of this draft?
One
tag team. There's no tag teams. He broke up Tegan Knox and Shotzi.
No, you have the champions. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the champions. I'm talking about men and women.
Yeah.
You broke up Retribution. You broke up Jinder Mahal's two guys.
Okay, well, those two teams, most people didn't care about anyhow.
Okay. It looks like you're breaking up Tamina and Natty.
That's stupid. I actually like that team.
Yeah, I actually like that team because that's heritage right there. You know,
yeah.
Vince doesn't care. And it's not just Vince, it's Laurinaitis, it's Dunn, it's Khan, and it's Pritchard. Mainly fucking Pritchard, probably. Because he's so far Vince's ass, he's giving him rectal exams.
He doesn't even have to put the red on his face or the blood. It could be brown instead.
He's not a yes man, he's a I love you man. Fuck you, Pritchard, you fucking southern prick.
Instead of Brother Love, he should be more like...
Brother Brown.
Yeah, instead of Brother Love, he's Mr. Hanky, right?
Pretty much. You listen to him more than I do. You know Cornette's been going off on the product.
Oh, yeah.
What's his take on this that I may have missed? Basically what we're saying?
Basically what we're saying, yeah. And he's confused because a lot of the times he's like, this isn't the same Vince that I worked with, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's losing his mind. And first, and one thing he said that was hilarious, though, he said he was actually grateful to AEW for this, because now, because of his show, he gets to piss off as much people as possible. Because for years, he'd been pissing off a lot of AEW fans with their indie-rific style booking. And then when he actually says something good about AEW, the people that want him to shit on AEW are now giving him
They
crap.
want to do epileptic shock.
So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But he's like, cool, I'll heal on everybody. I don't care.
Yeah, Cornette don't give a shit.
No. And I'll get to something he said later on another promotion, but, you know, we have other business where we get to that.
I'm halfway through the previous Raw because, again, like you, I was watching the football game.
Yeah.
What I saw, I didn't like. I told you this on the previous show. I will not go near that Saudi Arabia show out of principle alone. I'll read the results, but I won't go near it.
There are columnists on What Culture who said they refuse to watch it other than, you know,
I think Wrestle Talk also did that, and I know, I think Sean Ross Sapp said something on Fightful also.
Right.
I don't know about the Going Raw guys. I haven't heard from them in a while. I was reading Twitter today as we were before the taping, and whoever the woman is with Sean Ross Sapp went off on Vince about the women's division also, and saying, you're giving the guys more time. They should be equal time. And I agree, unless your name is Becky or Charlotte.
Well, I think a lot of that's just, not just WWE, just old promoter. I mean, Tim Cornette actually agrees with him on that, because he's the opinion, you know, that women should be an attraction and not necessarily like the main event.
Oh, no, I don't agree with that at all.
Neither do I. Welcome to 2021.
Because Cornette still thinks he's in the 80s.
Not only that, and even though he probably has the staunchest left-wing politics in all of wrestling, I honestly think he wants the South to secede from the Union again, because he wants every wrestling to be like that. And when we get to meet his comments about MLW, I'm going to get into that more into detail.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what happened? We're taping this on the 12th of October, the past weekend shows of GCW.
Sure.
There is no revolving door in GCW. It's pretty much the door's been fucked up and busted open by light tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear the complete list of who showed up?
Well, you told me off the air. You told me Thunder Rosa showed up.
She was part of a 7-person scramble, and intergender. She was the only girl in the match, and she held her own. I believe it. And one of the people is one person you saw and I saw in MLW is Tankman.
Calvin Tankman, yes.
Calvin Tankman, he reminds me a lot of Willie Mack.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Willie Mack.
I can see that.
Them boys showing up.
Oh, yeah, that's
the Briscoes.
Yeah.
And
who did they challenge? You had said it was Mance
Warner and a guy named Matthew Justice, who are they're calling themselves the Second Gear Crew. I only watched, went through it and just to see what was on there. Apparently, they went off and saying no tag team can beat them, and all of a sudden you hear the Leonard Skinner. Or what was their Leonard Skinner song? Forgot My Bullets or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, Give Me Back My Bullets.
Give Me Back Bullets. And
yeah, it's a while because I remember. I mean, I'm used to their Ring of Honor Pantera ripoff music.
Yeah.
But
what does it go? Oh, I forgot how it went.
Give me back my bullets.
Yeah, then you see them. The thing is, security is almost non-existent at GCW shows. You're basically walking through the fucking crowd.
Yeah. Of all places.
Yeah, and this is at the Showboat in Atlantic City. And they sold it out, by the way. They're selling out every venue they've been through.
Oh, I believe that they're doing that, but I mean, for like the Showboat, I've actually been there. I'm surprised they didn't hire like their own security.
Like Atlas?
Or getting Atlas. I mean, MLW uses them, and we'll probably see them when we go to South Philly, Japan this coming Saturday.
Yeah, the Briscoes came out and says, "You say there's no tag team." And I quote Jay Briscoe, "We want our motherfucking shot." And basically it was a face-off head-to-head with both teams, and that's how it ended. Okay. No punches were thrown.
Right.
Did you hear about the main world title match? It was Moxley versus Nick Gage.
Yep.
The presenter of the belt was Mick Foley.
Yep.
Brett Lauderdale, who is the now owner of GCW, he bought it from Zandy, who's doing wonders with his company. I've been watching this thing from a skewed eye, and he's doing leaps and bounds that DJ could never do with CZW. And we'll get to that in a little bit.
Right. Now, this Brett Lauderdale, he was the referee. He used to be the referee. He's the one who bought the company, and he was on Dark Side with Nick Gage. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brett Lauderdale came out and was supposed to do an announcement, and we'll get to that in a second too, because he came back out for the announcement.
Right.
Matt Cardona comes out and basically cussed Lauderdale out A to Z, and told him to get out of the ring. Lauderdale's a low guy. Cardona said something that struck me funny. He says, because he only did 2 death matches, he's a deathmatch hardcore legend, and he said, fuck Mick Foley.
Ooh.
Mick Foley got at the end, when he did his little spiel, he says, by the way, fuck Matt Cardona. That's the first time I've ever heard Mick
Right
Foley.
here in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
He actually did that.
Oh.
He actually did that. And he said, have a nice day. But that's the first time I ever heard Mick Foley use the word fuck. Ever. I don't even think I've heard him do it in ECW. He said the last time he got emotional at a show like this was his last match against Mikey in ECW. He felt that type of magic with this.
Right.
When Lauderdale came out and did his announcement, he didn't mention names. He said, well, somebody told him there's 1,000 GCWs come and go. And he told this person to go suck his dick and go fuck himself. And I bet you anything as meant towards DJ Hyde.
Could also been towards Mr. Cornette, too.
Mr. Cornette and all the garbage wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Did you know what the announcement? I tagged you on Facebook about the announcement.
Well, announce it here.
January 23rd. The video package is up if you can find it anywhere on social media. They are going to book the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is a huge deal for them.
Right.
Because Ring of Honor's been there, TNA's been there, and ECW is like a second home there. What do you think?
I think it's a great move for them. I'm wondering, speaking of ECW, I'm wondering if they're going to be at the 2300 Arena.
We don't know. We'll get to that in a little bit with AEW. Do you think Ring of Honor and Impact should be looking behind them as the 3 and 4 promotions in this country and saying the GCW is creeping up on them? Because he's making money hand over fist.
Yes and no. I mean, at least Impact at least is smart enough to work with AEW and NWA and other companies to cross-promote a little bit. I mean, really, they're using AEW more than anything to promote.
When Rosa showed up, I actually heard, and one of the commentators on here was Dave Prazak. And he's worked for Shimmer, he's worked for Ring of Honor, and he's worked for various other promotions. Matter of fact, I think he's the booker for Shimmer with Allison Danger.
Right.
And he says, doesn't matter if your name is Khan, Corgan, or D'Amore, she'll work anywhere. There's no revolving door in GCW.
Right.
And like I said, I gave it from what I saw, the portions of the show, I gave it a thumbs up.
Right.
They have an internet title. Some wrestler, I don't know if you've seen this guy named Effie.
Effie. No.
Effie. He comes out about Alley Catch.
Who?
Her name is Alley Catch. She used to do hardcore death matches also.
Is that Jerry Lawler's ex-wife?
No, that's Kitty. Miss Kitty. But like I said, and from I heard the second night, well, I wish I downloaded that show and watched it because Suzuki against Janela, the bad boy Joey Janela. I know you would enjoy that. You know I would enjoy that.
So the King of the Monsters showed up there too. Huh?
Yeah, and we had a women's match with Alley Catch against Mercedes Martinez. And I love Mercedes. I love her working ring work. She's one of the best out there. And I'll get to that in a little bit with the Impact special.
Okay.
Do you want to get to this?
Get your Impact out of the way, but...
I watched the all-female special. They opened up with Tim Bell for Daffy. Lexi Fife, who was one of Daffy's closest friends, came out and did it with Gail Kim. One thing I noticed, and I think she broke character a little bit, was Kimberly behind her, and you see her visibly shaking. And standing next to her was MCW's Renee Michelle, just holding her back as like a comfort thing.
Right.
They had a tournament to determine the number one contender for Deanna Purrazzo. The winner of this tournament, I think, would be not Bound for Glory, would be after Bound for Glory. Whoever is the champion between Mickie James and Deanna Purrazzo at Bound for Glory. And we'll get to that in a little bit, too, because there was a huge announcement at the end of this Impact special.
All right.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. We're professional here, folks.
Yeah.
We're so professional here.
Yeah. Good luck trying to read your writing once you do find it. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Lady Frost was part of this. Rachel Michelle from MCW. Mercedes Martinez. And have you ever seen or heard of Jamie Senegal?
The name sounds familiar, but...
She's like Nyla Rose, if you get my drift.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the same way?
Yes.
Her name was Lola. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. All right.
Mercedes won the whole tournament, and then she gets a trophy at the end by Gail Kim. I'm glad. I don't know if she signed a deal with Impact. She was last time we saw her was in NXT, and we don't know about that. So she lost to Xia Li. It was pretty good. And Chrissy Hemme showed up.
Okay.
She looks good after 5 kids. She popped out 5 kids.
I'd like to help her pop out 5 more, but I met her in person once. Young.
They announced the latest member of the Impact Hall of Fame and deservedly showed this person deserved it was Kong. And Kong was there to do a speech.
Okay.
The official induction will be at Bound for Glory. Kong gave one hell of a speech, and she talked about a lot about Daphne.
Oh, good.
This show is loosely dedicated to Daphne.
Okay.
The Monsters Ball match, which is now called the Daphne Monsters Ball match, which had Kimberly versus Savannah Evans, who's now with Tasha Steelz, who, by the way, Tasha Steelz is actually growing on me.
Okay.
Versus Alicia Edwards, who now has a female version of a kendo stick, like Eddie Edwards has Kenny. She has Kendra.
Okay.
It's pink and wrapped in barbed wire. Versus Jordan Grace. Savannah Evans won, and it looks like they're building. She's like a very tall, Amazon-like black chick.
Okay.
I see big things in her future.
Kind of like a Jade Cargo type?
Kind of like that. She's not as tall. Not as tall, but very thick, you know. And she went going. And we had Decay put the Knockouts tag titles. This is the main event against The Influence, which is Madison Rayne, the former Emma Tenille Dashwood. Decay wins. Before the show ends, you know about the graphic what showed up.
What?
Bound for Glory will be iconic.
Oh, yes, and iconic and inspirational.
Yes, they showed up. The inspiration graphic showed up. It looks like they're going to go after Decay. Would you want to see the inspiration go after Jessica Havoc and Rosemary at first, right out of the chute?
I'd rather see them go after someone and something else, but yes, I would.
Because they really don't have either that or Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace.
Yep.
Or Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans. That's the only tag teams they got, really. And whatever Sue Young's little faction's called now with Brandy Lauren and Kimberly.
Well, they're like a Yoshi Girl promotion compared to WWE right now. So
the big spot in the Monsters Ball match is Kimberly took a header into a barbed wire chair and she was bleeding badly from the forehead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Remember, she was from CZW.
Right.
I talked to Kimber. I hung out with Kimber at a couple of CZW shows. You know she's from Seattle, and she's a big Seahawks fan. And we talk football.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's very cool. I mean, she's a very cool person to talk to. And nice to know she's married to one of MSK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, someone's for asking her if she likes to take a 3-point stance.
Yeah. But, like I said, I liked the show. I mean, they put on a good show, and the only problem I had is the commentary team was Vader Scott. She's not very good.
Yeah.
And Mickie James was color.
Right.
Mickey James was pretty good on color. Veda seemed like she got lost a little bit.
Right.
And the ring announcer was Melissa Santos.
Ah.
And they had all female referees, and it was a definite all female show. Even though at the beginning when they did the 10 bell, the guys surrounded the ring and the girls were in the ring.
Yeah.
And like I said, good show. Like I said, I'm going to let it to you, let you see see if you like it or not. I thought it was better than, I don't know. You watched all of Empower.
Yeah.
You get to compare.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it'll sounds like it'll be pretty close. It'll probably be even. I mean, Empower was a really good show.
And Mickey booked that show, and Gail Kim booked this show.
Right.
So we can see who the better booker is.
And the wet t-shirt match aside, I mean, I do like the work that Mickey's been doing with Perlazo, so, you know.
And Perlazo's a workhorse. Now, the other thing I want to get up before we move on is the foundation they set up called Tag Me In. They did a video piece. We all know what happened with Daphne.
Right.
And we all know about she had CTE issues.
You're right.
She wanted her brain to be donated. And she even said that in the video before they found the body. They released a video piece. It started off with Chris Jericho. And like I said, I sent you the link. You got to watch the video. It's awesome. It's Chris Jericho. It's Melena. It's Tasha. I mean, it's most of the Impact people. It's even Cass says all the disorders and a recovering alcoholic. Okay. That's why he got shit canned from WWE.
Right.
Not just because of Enzo. Moose has anxiety disorders. A couple of the girls have. Melena says she has suicidal thoughts. They talk to Trish. They talk to Lita. They talk to everybody who is not affiliated with Vince right now.
Right.
And I think they said it's open to anybody. If you do a video on any social media and you hashtag it, Tag Me In United, they will respond to you if you're feeling depressed. Open disclosure, I've had problems with depression. I've had crippling depression for years, and it's a battle sometimes. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm really glad they're doing this. It is an outlet, and they turned a negative from the Daphne thing to a hopefully a positive.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's hashtag Tag Me In United. If you feel like nobody wants to listen to you, put it on social media. Put the hashtag, especially on Twitter or YouTube, and somebody from the rest of the world will probably respond.
Right.
Now, do you want to talk about this?
Okay, yeah. I won't spend too much time, or I'll spend as little time as possible on it. But I want to comment on a few things because I heard a review of it this morning. Actually, the morning
from our favorite grumpy old man.
From the grumpy old man that we aspire to him for most reasons, but a few things I'm going to disagree with him on. Now, Chris, you and I, we went to the tapings for Major League Wrestling. Some of them were for their Fusion Weekly show on YouTube, but some of these matches were also for their Fightland special that they showed on Vice TV.
Yeah.
Now, I did not see the broadcast of it. I saw the the Hammerstone and Fatu match, the broadcast of that.
Which I might
separately.
watch, yeah.
But I did not see the whole thing. I'm kind of glad I didn't because they did show. Well, we'll go through the results and I'll comment on that. And if I get to any Cornette things, we'll.
Yeah.
First thing that we saw, they had Mads Kruger from Contra. He's the big dude with the Jason type hockey mask or whatever. He defeated a guy named Dr. Drax who came out with Holidead. Now, what was really hilarious about that was Holidead was his manager, and Dr. Drax was basically he looked like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. He was led to the ring on a leash.
Keep talking about this.
And when he fell out of the ring, she was supposedly his manager. You would have thought there was a heel turn, because she yelled at him, she screamed at him, told him, yelled at him for not doing the dishes, and then literally kicked the shit out of him when he was in the apron, outside of the apron. Then dragged him back in for Mads Kruger to, basically, I think he just chokeslammed him, and it was a squash. But then after that, Holly Ted started beating the shit out of him some more and started walking him to the ring again. Bad dog, bad dog. So, alright, so then we move on. We have Alex Kane, who debuted when you and I went in July. He came out with King Mo, and
he's American Top Team, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, he was. Although I don't think he's. I'm surprised they don't have him going with what's his name in AEW for
Lambert.
Lambert, yeah, and I think Lambert originally was there. He was with King Mo and one time Tom Lawler, and in fact, I think Lambert, at one time was a referee, and then he changed his spots. But anyway, his opponent was the MLW debut of Warhorse.
What do you think of Warhorse? Was it the 50,000 tons of metal?
Yeah, more like the. I don't know.
Like a hairband?
More like the 8th-inch scale of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And
I didn't think much of him when I saw an AEW.
No, I mean, his whole gimmick is he's just basically a lightweight Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. He pulls on the ropes, he comes out his stock metal song coming out, and, just does everything the Ultimate Warrior does, except he actually loses, and he got his ass whooped by Alex Kane, and that in a squash. Yeah. Then we went to they had several matches for the MLW Opera Cup tournament. Mm-hmm. I think I mentioned on other episodes, this was something that supposedly at Stampede Wrestling came in. Davey Boy Smith Jr. actually suggested bringing it in, and they have the trophy. Kind of like what they're doing with the King of the Ring now, where it's like they have it at the entrance, and every wrestler has to look at it. And, alright. Well, anyway, the first match had Calvin Tankman, and we mentioned before, he defeated Matt Cross, who we saw get a proper burial from Jacob Fatu and Contra when we went and visited him. Yeah. And
doesn't he work for Ring of Honor too?
Yeah, I think he's swinging through the revolving door as well. But
and I think he's been on Dark.
And after that match, after this and a few other matches in the Opera Cup, the woman who's so attractive you finally got her name right when you saw her in person, Alicia Toot, interviewed both wrestlers when they came. And then Matt Cross complained that Tankman thumbed him in the eye. And he was whining and, and it looks like it could be turning him heel. Okay. But then the next match was also in the Opera Cup tournament. My new best friend, Bobby Fish, made his debut with that company. He took on Lee Moriarty, who we saw in July.
Did he come into his old Ring of Honor music like he did in AEW?
I'm not sure. It was this really. I'm
actually like the Misfits almost.
No, it was more metal than Misfits. Okay. It was, but it's kind of more like what Matt Cross came to. But Bobby Fish came out, and I swear he's the best kicker in the game. I mean, you hear me complain about the super kick party from the Young Bucks. This guy can actually surgically place his foot in different parts. I mean, if wrestling actually had like a skills competition like the NHL did, how like when they had that competition where they had like the targets on the goal and you had to shoot. I think Bobby Fish could do that with his feet.
Well, remember the tag team, him and Kyle O'Reilly called Red Dragon and Ring of Honor.
Right.
And what was the finisher called Chasing the Dragon, where it was a combination of Bread Buster and him giving the kick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. But Bobby Fish is a good worker, and I'm sad. Well, I'm kind of glad he's not in NXT anymore.
You're right. And looks like he's going to be in AEW for long term. And
I think he did go all elite.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, he did go to AEW, but what's interesting is Adam Cole said he's not ready to have him join the elite yet. Because he thought the Undisputed Era kind of ended on bad terms. But.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, too, because I don't like what they're doing to Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
But,
okay, well, the opera... hold on a second. The computer decided to... Fuck you, Vince. Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
All right. And we're back. All right.
I like Davey.
Yeah, another first round match had Davey Richards, the American Wolf, against Filthy Tom Lawler. And
What did Kevin Steen once called J.B. Richards? He called them the Jiu-Jitsu jack-off.
Yeah. Richards won by submission there, and and Tommy Lawler was being his usual asshole heelish self, which we'll get to later. I don't know, he's probably my favorite heel there, to be honest with you, Chris. Who isn't a member of Contra, I should say. But
the next match is the battle of two former X Division champions.
Also in the Opera Cup, TJP versus Alex Shelley. And that was a pretty good match. Although, I'll be honest, I actually missed because I was taking pictures of the Shimmer Tag Team champions, who we'll get to later on here.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, they were in the...
I heard Prazak's there, so that's the reason why they're there.
Right. Well, anyway, TJP defeated Mr. Shelley with some shenanigans on there. And apparently, I think TJP injured himself. I'm still not sure how he actually did that. Because he actually came in a run-in later on. Yeah, it was an ankle injury, if I remember reading it correctly. Mm-hmm. And I have an interesting little side story about Davey Richards later in the match. Doesn't have anything to do, actually, with his match, but we'll get to that. Alright, then they had an in-ring segment. They had, Cesar Duran, the Booker, who can't understand a fucking word he says, okay?
Because he sounds like Mr. Work?
Worse. He's more like, literally like Ricky Ricardo. Yeah. Anyway, and there was a segment where they were speaking to both 5150, who you know as LAX, with Los Parks. And it ended up with them getting in each other's face and brawling all over the building, with Homicide revealed as a new member of the faction. Mm-hmm. MLW, all over the place. Okay. Yeah. Then we had the singles match where Nicole Savoy defeated Holidead, and we'll definitely continue to send our wishes to Nicole Savoy, who was injured in that match.
Former Shimmer champion.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I think what had happened, two things happened with one was funny. The Dr. Dax that she beat the shit out of earlier on, she had him collared to one of the ring posts, and he was actually barking.
Well, do you want to talk about...
Okay, well, hang on. Stop cutting me off, alright? Anyway, what had happened with Savoy, she was injured and found out to be a bruised sternum.
After what LaParca mistakenly said on Twitter.
Right. Well, you can't fault him for that because, it looked like it could have been... he's seen enough matches where it could have been that. But what was interesting, though, it looked like... It kind of reminded me of Owen Hart and Steve Austin when Steve Austin, was...
took the power driver wrong?
Right. That's what I thought had happened, where it looked like there was kind of like a little bit of cooperation between Savoy and Holidead. Yeah. And Holidead was like, okay, I'll lift you up, okay, roll on top of me, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, you had that. Alright, now, this next match, this was on the Fightland TV special, and Cornette basically... Explosive diarrhea shit all over it, but fuck him on this. In this case, it was a good match.
Spot fest?
It was a big time spot fest, and a lot of times those matches I'll shit on them too. But you have two luchadors who are absolutely amazing.
Dude, those two guys I love. Yeah.
You had the then defending champion in Myron Reed. This was for the fatal four way for the MLW middleweight championship, and since they were in Philadelphia. They were against the Japanese buzzsaw Tajiri. How
big was the pop?
I thought it was a good-sized pop. Cornette basically thought it was like a popcorn fart. Because this is...
Well, it's been 20 years since he appeared in the United States.
Right. Well, he was complaining, said, he was going on basically saying the atmosphere wasn't there. He said, Philadelphia is the worst place to have a match. He said, if he started another company, he would never work there or Florida ever, He's saying, the building is in a bad neighborhood. He said, the arena was a shithole. He said, I understand they have some improvements, but I heard a tornado went through it and gave it $6 million in improvements, It's it's hard to not improve that place, but he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, they've both been in that building since their improvements. I kind of like it.
They've done a masterful job with it. But folks, basically what they did... If you've been in the ECW arena, like back in the 90s for ECW or later on for Combat Zone or Ring of Honor or whatever, they have completely gutted the building. They actually expanded where they actually have a nice lounge in the lobby.
And a bar.
The bathrooms are pristine.
Amazing.
They modeled them after New York subway bathrooms, but they have murals. I don't know if they have it in the ladies' room, but I know in the men's room they have a mural dedicated ECW with the wrestlers signing it.
Yeah, it's better than the original bathrooms where the toilets were iffy and the doors weren't closed.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of improvements with that.
Yeah.
But the arena itself the wrestling arena itself is smaller, but I mean they've cleaned it up. It's actually a nice place. That's actually if I wasn't a grumpy old man and scaring off women, I would probably I would bring a date to there. But anyway. So, yeah, you had a lot of spots, a lot of high flying. There was one where you had each wrestler just high flying, like, flying little lenses on top of each other.
Was there any ring wrestling to Jerry?
None that I saw.
And he's got to be around our age now.
He's 51 years old. And Cornette commented on his appearance, basically saying he looked like a janitor for a gas station. But you know what, Cornette? Round, just because round is a shape doesn't mean that you're in shape, okay? I mean, you're 60 years old now. I mean, when you were 50-some years old, you were like...
Pear. You were a pear.
You look like the guy in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial saying it's time to make the donuts when you were doing that Dairy Queen rant, with Sonny and Chris Jericho on that tape, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Anyway, Tajiri was... came out to the delight of the Philadelphia faithful, and Tajiri is now your new middleweight champion for MLW. Which, I like Myron Reed as a champion, especially since he won it back from Leo Rush, but I would like to have him keep it a little longer, but I think what they want to do with him, they want to have him go back with Jordan Oliver and go after the tag team.
Yeah.
Which is what they're building to. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we had another in-ring segment. I don't think this is aired yet, but... I'll mention it anyway. Cesar Duran came to the ring again.
Kid, you need subtitles.
Yeah. And then Los Parks and 5150 came out to the ring again. And brawled outside the ring where they had Atlas security trying to pull them apart. And look, we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
Then we go to the semifinals of the MLW Opera Cup, where Calvin Tankman took on Alex Kane, who substituted for TJP. Okay, there you go. Then, I'm surprised they didn't mention this in the in-ring segment, because shortly after that brawl, Filthy Tom Lawler came out, and they are doing a funny angle with him, Chris, because he's basically saying, I'm entitled, I'm a UFC prize fighter, I should get a title shot, meaning, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. But
first, Ricky Ricardo books him against Hammerstone for the national openweight title, and Hammerstone squashes him, as we saw in July.
Yeah.
Then he said, he complained about losing, and he said, this is bullshit, I lost to Hammerstone. I was screwed out by Hammerstone. I was screwed out of the Battle Riot tournament, to give him the #1 shot for the title. He missed that, even though he tried to go in twice, once as himself, and once as LA Park.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Well, so he says to Ricky Ricardo, I demand a title match. I'm a UFC prize fighter, damn it. I demand satisfaction. It's like, okay, I'll give you a title shot. And it will be for the IWA Caribbean Heavyweight Championship against Mil Muertes, who came out with a new manager named Katrina.
How's she look?
Oh my God, gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. Looked like some of the young ladies I was showing you off of the air.
Oh, okay, yes.
She came in a black bodysuit and she carried a skull. I'm guessing the skull is being used kind of like the Undertaker's urn, where it gives Mil Muertes powers, because it even had, I think, like some dry ice, fake smoke coming out of it for a little bit. Anyway, Muertes came out and defeated Filthy Tom Lawler.
How much did he destroy him?
No, it was a long match, but...
Oh, very back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will tell you that it's a casket that'll never wrestle again.
You showed me pictures.
Yes.
Yes. The lid was like fucked up.
Yeah. Pretty much when the referees had to open and close the lids, it was like you had to have a referee on each half of the lid to close it up. And then they wrestled Mr. Lawler. They wheeled him past me, and I hope I hope if we don't see him in New Japan, I hope they have a good memorial for him.
Yeah.
All right. Then you had the 12-man survival match. And it was, a 6-on-6 tag. We had Ed Nuka, which, if you remember this guy, Chris, he was like a tall guy. I think he was a former football player. I mean, huge. He eliminated a shitload of people in the battle.
I think so, yeah.
He teamed with Savio Vega.
Former WWE guy.
The Blue Meanie.
Which probably had the pop of the night.
Well, not really, but I'll get to that. I mean, he did get sort of a pop, but... Richard Holiday, which was interesting because they just had a feud with Savio Vega and Richard Holiday, but they were trying to turn him baby.
Yeah.
Zenshi, who, oddly enough, I don't know if you met this woman when we went in July, Chris. You remember there was a woman who was dressed kind of like a luchador with a cape and a mask?
I think so.
I took a picture of her and found out that she is his mother and goes to all of his matches.
Holiday's mother?
Zenshi's mother.
Okay.
And Warhorse. Dun, 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 against King Mo, Gino Medina, Kevin Koo from Team Filthy, Casey Navarro, Akira Kwan, and Beastman, who came out with Kimchi.
The whole Kamala thing?
Yes, Kamala's former manager. Yeah,
I wonder if it's Lombardo underneath that mask.
Anyway, the first team that I mentioned, the babyface team, defeated all of them, and I think it was elimination style, and I think Nuka was against 3 of the bad guys, and he wound up.
Navarro, I remember seeing Navarro on Impact.
All right.
Yeah, she was really good.
All right, then we go to the last match of the Opera Cup. It's not the championship match; it's the last one they had on this card. You had Davey Richards defeat Bobby Fish. An interesting thing about this, at first it looked like Bobby Fish was getting more cheers than Davey Richards. And he was getting cheers throughout the match. And Richards defeated him with his, I think it was kind of like a rear naked choke kind of thing. Yeah. But they shook hands at first, and then Bobby Fish swept the leg and started kicking the shit out of Richards. And then TJP actually, I think, came out and helped them.
There was
a double team.
There's a reason that they chose the team Red Dragon when they were in Ring of Honor. You know what letters they capitalized in Red Dragon?
What?
DR.
Ah.
Yeah, against David Richards. They were feuding with the American Wolves at the time.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, here are the 2 ladies that I saw while you had the Alex Shelley TJP match. Mm-hmm. It was a tag team match between the Sea Stars, who I found out from MLW. They are, at least at that time, the defending tag team champions for Shimmer.
Nice.
Ashley Voss and Del Miazzo. Yes. And they defeated team of Zoe Sky and Willow Nightingale, both babyface teams. And afterwards, there was a situation where Willow Nightingale, I think she protected Holly Dead's opponent earlier in the match. They did a thing where they were sending what was her name, Nicole Savoy. When they were stretching her out, they did a spot where Holly Dead was attacking her while she was still in the stretcher, and Nightingale came out and made the save. Yeah. Well, Holiday came back out and started attacking Hemingway. And then next thing you know, all 4 of the baby faces that had wrestled each other were chasing her off. And then you had 4 girls all kumbaya and walking Hemingway back to the match. Nightingale back to the match. Then we have the main event. Few comments about this. First, Cornette commented about the ring announcer, who had kind of like this wild Larry Fine hair. He said he looked like Professor Brown from Back to the Future.
Wait a minute, there was an actual ring announcer? Because when we were there was no ring announcer.
He just did it for this match.
Okay.
For this match in particular. He came out, and although Brian Last said, he said, you know what, I kind of like that because I'm tired of like these, seeing like, Roberts and, these other people. He wanted to see like an old crusty wrestling announcer, And he kind of looked like Krusty the Clown, but... Yeah. So they had the match between Hammerstone and Fatu. It was a title match with Fatu's heavyweight championship going against Hammerstone's National Openweight Championship. The winner of this match receiving both. And it was a hard-hitting match.
Yes, it was.
Now, the whole thing was, Cornette criticized them for, number one, the crowd was like fairly empty. Number two, they thought the crowd was flat. He attributed to it being Philadelphia that they are like bored and jaded and have seen everything in the world as he said they want blood. They said, they aren't happy unless they castrate a cat in front of people.
Damn.
But here's the thing. This taping, folks, was 5 hours. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
This match was... They started at 6 p.m. This match didn't start till after... I'd say maybe quarter after 20 after 11. Okay?
Yeah.
And by that time, the crowd was tired. They were flat.
Kind of like that for the WrestleMania marathon.
Right. And I think that, plus they knew what was going to happen, where they were building this storyline to end. And both wrestlers went at it. They fought inside the ring, outside the ring. Each did some spots. Fatu did several, somersault backflips on the Hammerstone, and did one where he sent Hammerstone through a damn table. And I found out how Hammerstone hurt himself, Chris.
How?
I remember this spot, but I didn't think this is what hurt him. Fatu went to, gave him like a suplex, and Hammerstone countered with like a Pele kick.
No shit.
And they said after he did the Pele kick and tried to get back up, that's when he hurt his other ankle.
Oh,
the one that he tried to, stand back up on. What spot I thought he did was the table spot, because that looked like pretty sick. But then that's when Hammerstone started hulking up, and 3 moves later, 1, 2, 3 pin. Hammerstone is your new your double champion for MLW. So,
how would you rate the show? On a 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Well, the thing was, I came the day after that stupid Smackdown, so I probably would have rated it higher. I'd say maybe a 3.5 out of 5.
Because you had a bad taste in your mouth. That's why.
Well, it's because, I'm a mark for Contra. That's part of the reason. And I think a lot of the people knew that was going on. And actually, Fatu had more cheers for him than for Hammerstone. And when Hammerstone came in, it was like people were like, ah. And then it's like, fuck, is Pat still open? Let me get a cheesesteak. And then, his music was playing, and they had like paper confetti, like he won the Super Bowl and all that. But it was a good match. Good show. I would go there again. And they are going to have a card in November called War Chamber. Mainly
like War Games?
Yes, it's their version of War Games. Although, back in the day, they actually used to call that match War Games there.
How are they going to fit 2 rings in that building?
That's a good question. Well,
it's going to be hard.
They don't have... No, not really. They don't have any permanent seats there, Chris. They can do that pretty easily, actually, so...
Going back to the female special, I forgot to mention this to you.
Mm-hmm.
They did a Pick Your Poison for Deanna Perozzo, and Mickie James had to pick the opponent. And I think you've seen this woman named Masha Slamovich.
Oh, yeah. She was in Empower, yeah.
I didn't realize who this person was and how good she was.
Watch Empower again, and then you'll...
She will be at the upcoming GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 7 event, and you know who she's going to take on? Mrs. Roderick Strong herself, Marina Shafir.
Oh, boy.
Isn't she a former UFC girl?
She might be.
Yeah.
A name like that sounds like she would be.
And also, your favorite heel from MLW is going to be there. She'll feature on Tom Roller.
Oh, cool.
He's going to be part of the GCW experience. But like I said, I'm trying to find out if there's anything for the October 23rd show in Los Angeles. Nick Gage versus Minoru Suzuki. I like to see him laugh after getting hit with light tubes.
Oh, jeez, it is. Well, it'll be an interesting challenge for Suzuki. He'll try to knock Nick Gage's teeth out, but he won't have any left. So,
in the tag title match will be in Los Angeles. Second Gear Crew versus the Briscoes. And Jonathan Gresham, Mr. Jordan Grace, will be taking on Alex Zane. Chris Dickinson and Starboard Charlie versus Juicy Finale and Jacob Fatu at a GCW show.
I see.
And making his debut from AAA, Psycho Clown.
Oh, interesting.
So, like I said, I think Lauderdale's making waves.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think there's definitely some momentum after the Dark Side of the Ring. Possibly David Arquette's movie might have something to do with that. And one of these years, Chris, we're going to do this movie review, folks. But you keep making whiny pussy excuses not to stay to watch the goddamn movie. But we're going to do that.
I will, if we could get a weekend. And our friend Bev said, would you want to go to a GCW show? And he's like, the closest they come here is Atlantic City.
Right.
That's a whole weekend. Would you like to do a weekend and go to a GCW show?
I don't know about all that.
Or not even GCW. I would love to go to the Hammerstein.
Well, we'll see about that. But
because that's a bucket list item, just to see a wrestling show in New York.
Right.
And we're going to scratch off a bucket list item this upcoming...
Yeah, the October 16th and 17th. Unfortunately, we only have tickets for October 16th.
You really want to see
New Japan Pro Wrestling will be going to our favorite arena, not Jim Cornette's arena for damn sure, the 2300 arena. And yeah, that we mentioned the card last week, and definitely looking forward to. Definitely want to see Laughing Boy there for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the whole card. I think I sent it to you. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the matches will be Clark Connors and Ren Narita versus TJP and Will Ospreay, who claims he has the real world title.
Wow.
I wonder if they're going to do meet and greets with Ospreay. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Arya Davari debuts against Alex Zane. Juice Robinson, the newly engaged Juice Robinson, to Tony Storm against El Phantasmo.
Wow.
Fred Lehigh, I don't know who this guy is, so you've probably seen him, against never openweight champion Jay White, leader of the Bullet Club.
Okay. And
the main event is Dirty Chris Dickinson against Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
We gotta learn the lyrics to that song because there's gonna be a big sing along to Suzuki's song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be in Japanese. That's the only bad thing.
Yeah.
In
other words, I'll just say Judas in my mind. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a card coming close to us, which I'm kind of interested just based on the venue, which is basically it's a movie theater, folks. It's Cineplex, where Maryland Championship Wrestling will be having a card called the Monster Match. And appearing on that card will be one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions.
For now.
Penta El Zero. What was it used to be called? Pentagon something?
Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
From Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Lucha Brothers.
I am too. I wish both of them could come, not just them.
I met both of them at a CCW show. I got to get in beforehand, and I got to see him without the mask.
Yeah.
Penta's English is almost non-existent, so he's probably going to have a translator there.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix's English is doable.
Oh, yeah, that's why they have the mouthy piece. They have
Alvarez, yeah.
Yeah, the Spanish announce team guy hanging around with them.
At least they ain't the other guy who made fun of Sheeta's accent.
Well, perhaps we'll probably have some results. We'll see if we can go to this thing, but we'll talk about that off of the air.
Yeah, Sam Adonis, who I think is from other companies.
Yeah.
Drulix is homegrown. Moses, I think, is homegrown. I've only been, since they brought back shows, one MCW show.
Right.
It's still family friendly.
Yes, that's what they're advertising here. I'll read you their little presser, of course. Okay. It says, come check out MCW Pro Wrestling's Monster Match 2021 on Friday, October 29th, 2021. Damn you, computer. All right. Meet one half of the current AEW Tag Team Champions, Penta El Zero. Get autographs and photo ops before the show. Seating is extremely limited. And then they give the address. The venue, if you're thinking of traveling to the Baltimore area, it is at the FPX Theater East Point Flagship Cinemas, 7938 Eastern Avenue. For those of you who are local in the area, it's the theater across from East Point Mall that used to be Lionel Kitty City or whatever. But
yeah. And it's right next to Redner's grocery store. So.
Right, yeah, there you go.
Do you want to get to the AEW notes?
Sure.
I think I understand the booking now of the reverse booking. Instead of putting the elite at the end, they're putting them at the beginning just to get them out of the way, so everybody can focus on the rest of the card.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Always get a good flush out of the way.
What do you think of the Elite versus Cage, Jurassic Express, and American Dragon?
Typical fucking Young Bucks bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
Cutler and Cornette has a cool nickname for him called Knock It Off.
No, my favorite spot was when Adam Cole would look like he was going to stand and do the dive, then he goes to the Adam Cole baby, and he starts shaking his hands like this, and I laughed my ass off.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see the referee going, turn around, and it's Luchasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish they would just stop having these idiots squash, you know. I mean, it's like, what's the incentive to watch their feud? And I know you and other people complain about WWE's 50-50 booking, but this would be one instance where I would actually want it. Because you gotta have the people believe that one day the good guys will win, you know. It can't just be the stupid wannabe NWO, okay?
What did you think of the venue and at the location? Do you want to say the location of the venue?
I mean, it was at basically it's a basketball arena for Temple University in Philadelphia.
And we'll get to that in a little bit because the video I sent you later. The Mox segment, which was basically a Mox segment about the ladder match. He was building up to the ladder match.
Yeah, it was a hardcore promo. Yeah, whatever.
What did you think of Punk's promo on about Philly?
It was interesting. He said how, I'm guessing this was when he was in Ring of Honor, how he
lived there in 2002.
Yeah, and had a wrestling school. How the hell did he have a wrestling school when he just started?
Well, he could have been part of that dojo there.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I thought that was a nice.
Then we had the campfire segment with the world's most dangerous man, Arn Anderson. Does this mean that Arn's now the crazy old man?
I don't know. It sounds like they have a crazy old man from the other company writing this. This is bullshit. The promo he did the week before was amazing.
Amazing when he took out the Glock.
Yeah.
I still see GIFs and memes of him in the Fire Pro pouring out a gun and shooting people while they're in midair.
And what the hell's up with Cody? I mean, he's supposedly waking up out of his house. He comes in like a nice
suit.
button down. Yeah. And then when Arn had him throw the tie away, I have a feeling they're going to try to make this kind of like a Rocky angle where it's like, you lost the eye of the tiger, we're going to toughen you back up, all that kind of bullshit.
Well, we'll get to the roads to the top in a second because I watched 2 episodes already.
Okay.
What did you think of the Bobby Fish promo?
Typical
Bobby Fish, typical hype up the match thing?
Well, as I said, he's my new best friend, so he can't go wrong. So, yeah, good for you, Bobby Fish. Go kick the... I wish he would turn babyface and kick the shit out of the Bucks and Knock It Off and Cutler and all those assholes.
What did you think of Sammy versus Bobby Fish?
Excellent match.
And Bobby Fish did come into his Ring of Honor.
Okay, yeah, because it was different music from MLW. Actually, the MLW music I like.
It looks like we're going to have America Top Team versus Inner Circle.
Yeah, that's what it looked. Because they came out and attacked Sammy, and then Jericho brought the troops out and made the save. Yeah.
Then my least favorite tag team came out and talked. It was the Acclaim.
Yeah.
I am not a big fan of the Acclaim at all. It's not just the rap gimmick. I don't think they're good in the ring.
They're not going to. Well, I think
they're young. They're still young.
They're okay in the ring. They're and it's not just the rap, but their promos are horrible. I'm sorry.
Well, they have to tone it back because he got into trouble for that rap on Dark.
Yeah.
Then we had the TBS title review. What do you think about the secondary women's title?
I think it's a good idea, and I think it's something else to bring eyes to the
women's division, and it has gotten better.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it has.
Oh, going to the women real quick. I'm going back to GCW. Did you hear what Mick Foley said on Twitter about Thunder Rosa?
No.
Called her a hardcore legend. Did you see Britt Baker's response? Picture of her bloody from that.
Oh, yeah.
Says, think again.
That's pretty funny. Okay.
That is pretty funny. What did you think of the Darby Allin versus Nick Camarado match?
It was interesting because you left out the promo that he had with
interview,
him,
where
he basically explained why he paints half of his face because he feels half of him feels dead inside. And this was a squash match to give him credibility.
Then we had the Dork Order, and basically it was a comedy piece of them arguing about the mask and who all bald-headed people look the same.
Oh, good, yeah.
Then we had Dante Martin and Malachi Black, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, and if it was a shoot, Dante Martin's a fucking idiot because it's like. And what I thought was interesting is he was a babyface. Usually, when wrestlers, it's heels that are like, I'll challenge anybody in the back to come on out, and then.
Yeah.
But I mean, and they have the lights come out, and then.
Black in the ring.
Which, okay. Then they decided to book a match between those two, and it's like, why bother? I mean, Black just basically, kicked him like, fucking Beckham, okay? I mean, It was ridiculous.
Well, it looks like they're going to turn Dante maybe heel and hook up with Leo Rush.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's stupid.
It looks like Leo's still trying to be the hype man thing.
Right.
What do you think of Leo Rush being in AEW now? After how many times has he retired?
Well, yeah, he retired after one match the last time he was there. I mean, he's a talent. I was hoping he would come back to MLW. He was great in CZW with that ladder match. Oh, yeah,
Joey Janela was fucking fantastic.
Oh, he's great. He's fun to watch in the ring. And I just don't like this particular gimmick they're giving him.
Then you had the Ricky Starks Brian Cage segment where apparently Ricky Starks is now healed from a broken neck. Because we'll talk about Rampage in a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Then the surprise of the night of Shida versus Serena Deeb. And it's Shida's 50th win, which we all thought was going to happen.
Right.
But this is the screw job they give you sometimes. They give it and take it away. Serena Deeb was it a tap out?
Well, here's what had happened. They actually had a glass trophy ready, a crystal trophy ready to give to Shida if she won this match. And I forget what she calls the match, but basically you're right. It was a submission move. And
then Deeb turned total heel on Shida, which was amazing.
Yeah, basically took this trophy and hit her in the head with it. Now, you say that though, but I mean, we've seen the last few matches with Deeb. She was kind of turning heel anyway. Yeah. Especially when she was a Riho when we...
Double or Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean... And she was kind of leaning that way in NWA a little bit.
Well, she was a heel in FCW or NXT, wherever it was, and she was also with the Straight Edge Society where she shaved her head.
Right.
And I think when she was a face in Shimmer.
Yeah, because I remember seeing a video of yours where she first appeared in Shimmer where she still had the shaved head.
Yeah.
She was trying to grow it back.
Then we had the Darby beatdown by the Masked Man Pinnacle. Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that bullshit?
Exactly.
The kid's going to die soon in the ring.
Well,
he's a buck machine.
Well, I always have one like that at a party, but anyway.
Then, match of the night was the Casino ladder match. What'd you think of the whole with Orange versus Pac versus Andrade versus Matt Hardy versus Lance Archer versus Max? And the Joker. You want to reveal the Joker?
We'll get to that, but first of all, I want to comment on my dog Pockets. All right?
Oh, God.
He came out to the ring with a mascot of the Philadelphia 76.
Oh, yeah. And okay,
Clifford the dog, or whatever the fuck he's
the best friends in Land.
This is one of many reasons why Orange Cassidy's a dipshit. Because if you're going to come out with any sports team mascot for Philly, you got to either come out with the Philly Fanatic or Gritty.
Gritty from hockey?
Not a cute fucking dog wearing a championship belt with a 76. Yeah. Okay, yeah, good luck. Yeah, you're going up against fucking Moxley and
Pac the bastard.
Yeah, okay, good luck.
And Andrade.
And, yeah. And our Joker, which we'll mention.
You want to go ahead?
Well, we saw the return of some cowboy shit.
Yep. And the spots we saw, which the Matt Hardy spot, I think, was it the leg drop, which I thought he actually hurt. Who did he do it on the?
Did it on Pac. And somebody did a move on Pac. I'm surprised Pac didn't break his neck.
It was Andrade.
Yeah.
Was it that destroyer off the ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, onto another ladder, it looked like, wasn't it?
Well, there was another bump. It looked like it was kind of like a botch. I forget who, but
I think that was Mox.
Yeah, Pac. Yeah, God bless you, man. I hope hope you didn't break your neck.
Yeah. So Adam Page wins the ladder match. Does that mean at Full Gear we're finally going to get Omega Page?
Hard to say. You might. Yeah, you probably will see it on pay-per-view. I am kind of torn on whether to give him the belt or not. I mean, before he went for paternity leave, I would have done it around that time. Mm-hmm. But since you have Danielson, you have Adam Cole, you have CM Punk, you got to give it to one of those guys. Screw. Yeah, I think they missed the boat with Page, especially if you're trying to bring in new viewers. Speaking of Danielson, there's a rumor going around that Tony Khan's trying to book Danielson versus Suzuki. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. They don't get the Rampage. Again, the reverse booking of Punk, putting Punk on first. Right. Against. What do you think of Daniel Garcia, by the way? I like his work, actually. Mm-hmm. You just don't like, what was the name of NXT? They're called Everrise. Yeah. Oh, I mean, they're just asshole blah heels, but he's a good wrestler, and that made, Punk sold all of his stuff. It looked like he was going to kick Punk's ass, but And how did Punk win? A move we haven't seen in a while. The Anaconda Vice. Yep. Then we got the Dante, Matt Sydal, Leo Rush segment, which it looks like Dante Martin's going to turn on Sydal. Yeah. Then, which it should have been an easy win with the Luchas. They made it look competitive against the Acclaim, but the Luchas won. That's my. Cornette's complained about this, and I agree with him on. They do this on the matches on Dark and Dark Evolution, where people that should be squashes, they make them more competitive than. Yeah, they do that with all of them. And it's like, come on. Cargill versus Sky Blue. Cargill is going to be your TBS champion. I'm telling you right now. Oh yeah. Either that or Thunder Rosa. Well, did you hear what she said about that title? What the TBS stands? That bitch title. That bitch show. Yeah, for TBS. What did you think of the street fight match at the end for the FTW title? Lame. I thought they should have let Page win. Did you hear about what happened after they went off the air? Yes, they were in Philadelphia, and Tony Khan kind of did a salute to ECW. He called out Taz, he called out Jericho. CM Punk came out and said, I didn't want to, sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to mention that I was ECW champion at one time, too. And then he called out Jerry Lynn and Dean Malenko. Yup. And Malenko was a man of very few words. He just said thank you. Mm-hmm. And Lynn said some shit. Lynn, who, me and you go back watching him against Carino, when he wrote Carino in Carino's own blood, the words die on Jerry Lynn's own chest. I forgot about that. I remember him more for his matches against Rob Van Dam. That was, when he called him the new fucking show. God, yeah. Yeah. Dude, you haven't broke bread. You ever broke bread with Jerry Lynn? I've actually had a kind of nice conversations when we mostly talk music because he's a metalhead. Right. But he's a good dude. He's a good dude. But like I said, this comes up to this coming Smackdown and Rampage. Do you want to talk about this? Well, yeah, you have some shenanigans with the networks involved. Fox is airing the baseball playoffs, and as a result, SmackDown will be going to their sister station, FS1. Now, and he said traditionally, usually their ratings dip when they go to that because it's, that's common. It's not even Fox's main cable channel. They have several, actually. But how many cable outlets actually have FS1? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Quite a few. I have it, actually. You have it on your YouTube? Yeah, but here's the thing. What they are doing is they are actually expanding. It's a supersized SmackDown, which means they're going to add an extra half hour. Why they aren't just doing a whole hour, I don't know, but they're doing an extra half hour. Commercial free, by the way. Which will be, and which will be dipping into the first half hour of AEW Rampage. So for the first time, you will have a head-to-head. Yeah, between AEW and WWE's main roster. What Wrestle Talk said today
on the day of this taping was ever since Punk debuted, in which they made 1.1 million views that night, they have been dropping down to almost 500,000 views on Rampage. Their ratings have dropped.
Right.
So, and even Tony Khan says he's looking forward to see what happens Friday night. Now, I honestly think SmackDown's still going to beat them in the ratings.
They might, but you know what? It might not hurt AEW that much for this reason.
Why?
Usually when you have like a show, when it's like, okay, we're not going to be on Fox, we're on FS1. Some people are just so ADD they get confused. They're like, oh, they're on another network? Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Where you're already conditioned, it's like, okay, Rampage is going to be on TNT like it always is. Yeah. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah.
Well, since we're taping this on October 12th again on a Tuesday night, we're not going to have the next night. Dynamite will not be on. It'll be on Saturday.
Right.
From what I'm hearing, ticket sales for Friday night's Rampage are not brisk at all.
That's because it's Miami. They never buy tickets for any damn thing. It's pretty much...
It's a Friday night at 10 o'clock, too.
Friday? Yeah, exactly. Miami, you know... What,
the party capital of the world, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the problem with having any type of sports or faux sports in South Florida or Southern California. There's so many other things to do. There's such a night scene. There's the beach. There's everything else. People are like, well, I don't know. Do we really want to go to a wrestling show? I mean, Cornette mentioned that before in his comments with MLW. He said he would never book a show in Florida because he has so many promotions giving away tickets there.
Well, Tony Khan says something about a heritage thing. If you have a flag showing your heritage, you get like a $10 ticket.
Huh, okay.
Which I think
like
is pretty cool.
Like Cuban heritage, I guess?
Yeah, Cuban, well, yeah, since there's a large Latino contingent down in Miami.
Right.
I don't know about tickets for the next night. They're also in Miami for Dynamite. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And since we're going to be in Philly that night, I probably won't be able to watch it till Sunday before the game or Ravens game. So
right.
That and
I'm kind of surprised they're doing 2 nights in Miami because I figured they should have done what they did with Philadelphia and the Grand Slam in New York, where they tape both shows that same night instead.
Yeah. But
and then just air if they want to air it Saturday. You know.
I talked to our friend Ruckus again, and I'll talk to you a little bit off there about that.
Yeah.
He actually thinks Vince is just sitting back and watching them eventually implode.
You said that, but
they got so much momentum right now.
Yeah.
And since Khan is taking over the final say in booking, I see no wrong right now.
I don't know about that.
It's better than the booking we're seeing in WWE.
Well, what isn't better? I mean, I don't know. The cats who counts outside of my house that, you know, on the grounds of where my house is located. I mean, I've seen them book better matches than what Vince is doing right now.
1313 Mockingbird Lane?
Exactly, yeah.
But, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see the numbers the next day, see who wins that ratings battle. And if Khan beats them, he's going to be screaming from the mountaintops. Do you think he'll be like that, or just stay low key about it?
Who knows? I personally think still it'll be, you know, I still think, you know, shitty Smackdown will win over, but yeah, I don't know.
And it's still going to be both shows are going to be live.
Right.
And they're promising a Roman Reigns title match for SmackDown?
Okay. Yeah, it'll be like 10 minutes of entrance, 5 minutes of promo.
With the brilliant of Paul Heyman.
Then it'll be a match that'll end in what they're not allowed to call it, DQ. Whatever.
Oh, going to SmackDown, the previous SmackDown, the Paul Heyman promo about the whole Brock Lesnar thing was brilliant.
Yeah.
He is the saving grace of that show right now. It's just to see him squirm, how he's...
That whole team is, really.
Yeah, the Bloodline?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting a Bloodline shirt. I think it's kind of cool. It's like a
It does look like, I know, it does look like a cool shirt, but then again, we'd be supporting Mr. Burns. And,
No, I know.
I bought enough stuff from Mr. Burns supporting his football league that he tried to bring twice. So,
but like I said, it's. I got some notes right here. What I write at the beginning?
Oh yeah, the bullshit contract segment of
What's with the 3 fucking tables?
Unless they're actually being used to throw each other through, it's useless.
It was sweet to see the KOD on both girls.
Yeah.
Bianca is that strong. Then the King of the Ring tournament matches, which the men's matches were significantly longer. Mysterio or Sami Zayn didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they're trying to build a storyline. Sami Zayn's going to turn
Dominic.
Yeah. Augie against Daddy Doggy.
And we're going to get Selena Vega versus Carmella in the next round of matches. Which, again, do you care?
Heel versus... Well, yes and no.
And on the Raw side, we're going to get Doudrop versus Shayna Baszler.
That could be interesting.
Shayna, who's been leaving body parts behind her.
Right. Well, I mean...
They're booking her right now. They're booking her right. They're booking her the way she should be booked.
Yeah, I mean, and they're giving her a hoss that might actually give her a fight, but anyway.
Okay, I hated this. Go ahead. I hated
the Baron Corbin KOs, especially since they did the same thing 2 weeks in a row.
You think he's on the way out?
Who? Owens, yeah.
You think he's on the way out?
Yeah.
Riddick Moss as Madcap Moss and is doing stupid fucking jokes.
And like I said, Chris, I think that was the angle they had intended for Adam Cole.
Yeah. This other thing, it may be interesting.
Naomi versus Sonya Deville, yeah. I was a big fan of Sonya Deville when she wrestled, so...
Yeah, we might see the killer Sonya Deville, like her MMA stuff.
Yeah.
That might be good. Then we had Finn Balor versus Cesaro, which is basically New Japan versus Ring of Honor. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. You got 2 of the best workers on that brand.
Right. And just like we think there should have been more time dedicated to the women, should have been more time dedicated to those 2. But anyway.
Then the segment that they didn't like, it turned into gold at the end, was Edge and Seth Rollins.
Oh, you left out
the Becky Pierce and Sonya. What'd you think? Your typical bullshit backstage segment?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I like Becky as an asshole, but,
Again, convince me she's a heel.
She's a tweener. She's like Britt Baker.
Yeah.
She's trying everything to be a heel, but...
She's throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks.
Right. I mean, she's always been popular, and let's face it, wrestling fans are mostly guys. I mean...
Yeah, true.
It's hard. That's one thing I've always...
She looks great after the kid, by the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's one thing I think is so hard for women's wrestling. I'm going to probably sound like Cornette or sound like a grumpy old, and I don't care. Basically, male wrestling fans, even before they're fans of wrestlers, they're fans of...
Cheesecake.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the wrestlers, unless you're like Doudrop or Nyla Rose or somebody like that...
Or Jessica Havoc.
Yeah, I mean, they look like you're a dessert you get at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really cheer against an attractive woman unless he either does something to emasculate a guy or he'd really have to do something really vile or like kill a puppy or something.
Or your name is Eva Marie.
Well,
she's got go away heat. She has go away heat.
It's because she can't wrestle or do anything. She's more smoking hot than a grill on 4th of July. Yeah. But come on, man.
What did you think of the Rollins Edge segment?
I forgot what happened with that.
Rollins went off like he usually does. Edge came out, chase off Rollins. Oh, no. Did he chase off? Yeah, chase off Rollins. And at Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel, we're going to get Hell in a Cell.
Oh, okay, yeah, that. Oh, whatever.
Which may be mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe mentioned tonight. Again, out of principle, I'm staying away from that show. I'll just read results.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm kind of doing that with WWE.
Now, the other big story that broke during the week is Women of Wrestling. Wow.
Yep.
You want to talk about this and the two big signees to this?
AJ Lee will be. I think she's going to be an announcer,
and she'll be doing color. She'll be the play. She'll do color.
And
the woman
we're at DEFCON 1 because we're going nuclear.
Yes. Who already has another accusation as of yesterday thrown at her.
Oh, with the Chelsea Green
Chelsea
thing?
Green, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I don't know. This, Chelsea Green basically says during the all-in show that Tessa Blanchard tried to intimidate the other women and did so by bringing her Impact Championship. And she was the only wrestler that was allowed to bring a belt from another company there. And it was pretty much, just to put herself on a higher spot on the card.
Well, from all accounts, she's a mega bitch. She's such a turbo bitch for what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't mind going on a ride with her to Space Mountain,
Well, from what I'm hearing, her first match is going to be against their new champion called The Beast. So a woman called The Beast. I saw a picture. She's Kong-like almost.
Okay.
And again, I'm surprised she got hired because a lot of companies will not touch her.
Right.
What do you think?
That is somewhat surprising. I'm wondering if maybe
she got blackmail photos.
That, or maybe Tessa's investing in this company, being part owner or something.
That means she'll be put herself over to be champion.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like you can get a job, create one.
Yeah.
It might be what she's doing.
Like I said, she's got so much nuclear heat everywhere. Not just Impact, but WWE. I told you about on a previous show about the fight she had with Ricochet, which Hunter had to break up.
Well, let me ask you this: as far as the word nuclear. What do you think of her using that for merchandise? Did you see that?
Yeah, it's kind of smart and kind of jamming it in people's eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say so too. I mean, one culture was basically saying that was kind of a bitchy thing to do because basically,
it lives up to her reputation.
Yeah.
But like I said, they signed a contract with Viacom CBS. I don't know if it'll be on a Paramount streaming service or are we going to get it on some kind of network?
Probably, I'd say probably either the Paramount Plus or they have a CBS Sports Network where they have a lot of the, I don't know, Division II or lower tier college football games.
Who owns the Stadium channel on digital?
Sinclair.
I was about to say, it could be on Sinclair. That's why you see Ring of Honor on there.
Yeah.
But they could work out a deal with Sinclair and air it on Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think the time is right for another female promotion?
Why not?
We got Shimmer, we got Shine, we got Rise, and if DJ gets his head out of his ass, you want to talk about that now?
Oh, yes. Combat Zone Wrestling will be airing their first show in a while. I was looking for the date on that earlier, but...
It's sometime next month.
Yeah. But basically, what they'll be doing is a name-your-own-price as far as admission, and the proceeds are apparently going to a charity. So
breast cancer, from what I understand.
Right.
The responses I read on Twitter were very negative. DJ still has heat with a lot of females in the locker room because of the speaking out movement.
Right.
Maven also has a lot of accusations from the speaking out movement.
And also, they're probably speaking out because he didn't pay any of them. I've heard that.
Yeah, like I said, find Chrissy Rivera on Twitter. She has been screaming from the mountaintops about how DJ treats women there.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, he's married to the woman who always sells the DVDs behind the table. She's the merch girl.
Okay.
And very nice woman. When I talked to Ruckus, I never noticed this until he said something. When you talk to DJ Hyde, he never looks at you in the eye. He never looks you in the eye. He looks like, remember Chris Christie was standing behind Donald Trump? He looks like he's looking for an escape route.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
But I'm not GCW now. I'm becoming a GCW mark.
Oh yeah.
I think it's overtaking CZW now because I think CZW is dying on the vine.
Well, CZW hasn't had any shows in a while either. That's part of the reason.
The last show they did was an empty arena show February last year.
Mm.
And Joe Gacy was their champion. Oh, do you want to talk about Joe Gacy?
What about?
About the character they gave him in NXT?
I think you mentioned this before.
He is now, they're making fun of the woke culture.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
He's making a safe space.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
and at first they were talking about scrapping it, but now I heard they're going to continue it.
Because it's getting eyes, it's getting heat. That means it's getting eyes on it, you know.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit as long as it's making money and making ratings. And
plus the people that are giving it praise are the conservative outlets like Fox News. So, and Vince is all about,
pleasing that base too.
Yeah.
But I have an interesting story about Joe Gacy. When he was in CZW,
mm-hmm.
when he was Chainsaw Joe,
yeah,
I'm standing next to his mother. His mother is watching her baby boy in the ring, and you can see the pride in his mother's face.
Oh,
and I talked to his mother to an extent, and it's a really nice woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's probably pleased as punch that he's moving up in the world in this business.
Mm.
Even though we don't go back to go get off my lawn.
Right.
But anything else you want to cover?
No, I think we pretty much hit it. And speaking of hitting, hopefully we'll see Laughing Boy
Now Chris Dickinson's head off into the third row.
Right. And I'm guessing they'll probably have like a run-in with Moxley and Archer to set up the card for the next night that we want.
Well, it makes me think about maybe meet and greets. Maybe they'll be there.
I think with their meet and greets, they have them beforehand. Because I think when I showed you that card from Fightland, it was I found out it was signed by Casey.
Navarro?
Yeah. That's who signed my thing. But, and he said that was from a previous meet and greet. So, I would check New Japan's website.
MPG,
He may have like the meet and greet separate tickets for that. It might be before.
And they have, it's on, I'm trying to remember the site. It's njpw1972.com.
Yeah, why is it 1970? Is that when
That's when the company started. Yeah, that's when the company started. Company,
okay.
Yeah. And I don't know who's booking the shows. It could be Shibata because he's running the dojo here in Los Angeles.
Right.
We know who's booking the shows in Japan, and it's Gato. Remember Jado and Gato?
Yeah.
Gato's running it, and Jado is also a part of Bullet Club, and so is Gato as on-screen talent.
Uh-huh.
And they're basically managers.
Right.
Jado is with the Tongans.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing. We're going to get more of the giant Tongan, Thomas' brother.
Right. Because he's not going to be in the G1, I'm guessing.
G1's going on right now, and I really haven't kept track on G1 because it's so immersive and so expansive. I'm waiting for the finals. I do know this in the points. In one block, Zack Sabre Jr. and Great O'Connor, who you haven't seen. This is this giant human being whose finisher is like a claw / choke slam. Like the Everybody Dies claw from Lance Archer.
Okay.
If the point getters in one block, the other block is Okada and I think Kota Ibushi. No, Okada and Jeff Cobb.
Gotcha.
And the winners of those blocks gets to face each other. And I hope it's Zack Sabre and Okada.
Okay.
Because it'll be Suzuki-gun versus Chaos. Because Sabre is part of Suzuki-gun.
Gotcha.
And the fantasy book, there is a rumor going around that Tony Khan's trying to book Bryan Danielson against Suzuki. Boy, wouldn't you like to see that?
I would.
I'm fearing for Danielson's brains.
I'm not.
He's going to get 400 next week.
No, but Danielson's tough. He likes to do a lot of submissions, and he can.
They're going to farm each other for like 20 minutes on the head.
Yeah, maybe, but Danielson will definitely get those kicks in, though. I mean, he's almost as good as my best friend Bobby Fish, but anyway.
It's hard to believe he's our age.
Who?
Suzuki.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe he's
not
our
really.
age.
I looked at him. In the face, he is.
In the face. This is the man who lost a hair match, sat in the middle of the ring, and shaved his own head.
And that shows you that he is a grumpy old man.
He's a crazy old man.
He's a crazy old man as well. But, I mean, usually grumpy old man, usually it men reach a point where they don't give a fuck about fashion. They just pick their favorite decade and just dress like that for the rest of their life.
Is that why he's got that hair thing? Looks like exploded out of the back of his head.
Yeah, he's got basically he has like the pattern of the outfield for Camden Yards.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If they do a meet and greet, that's a bucket list item. I want to meet Suzuki.
Oh yeah,
that is a definite bucket list. Which faction shirt do you want? I'm going to say this ask you on the air right now. Would you want a Suzuki Goon shirt?
Probably. I'll see what they have merch wise.
Chaos, LIJ, and Empire, which because Osprey's there.
Yeah, I'll have to see what they look like. If not, I'll maybe get a generic New Japan. The only New Japan shirts I have is the Kenta Go to Sleep Club, the Bullet Club one, and then that one thing I bought at Ring of Honor where they had Matt Taven.
Yeah.
And,
well, you know what the New Japan...
It was a show they did at Madison
Well, the
Square
New
Garden.
Japan logo has been changed since the beginning. It's the tiger.
Yeah.
With the red and yellow logo.
Right.
And that's probably what you'll see a lot of that there.
Yeah, I remember actually, I think either MEWF or MCW, I bought a hat with that logo there once.
I remember that, yeah.
It had like the Zubaz stripes on the bill.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Well, I want to do a shout out to our newest listener. I know she's listening to one of our previous shows, and she subscribed to our channel, and she clicked the bell for the like, and she lives in Kansas. My friend Jen, who I've known from a previous existence. Shout out to Jen. Glad for you to tune in. Tell your friends.
Welcome, Jen, and thank you for bringing our listenership from single digits to double digits.
Yeah, pretty much. And we'll talk about something else off the air that is betterment for everybody.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next time. And we have Maki Ito to greet you for us.
Stay safe and have a nice day, shitheads! What up?